Welcome to Asian English News Bulletin. This is Syed Mahir Zaman Mukhar with our top stories of the day. Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina called upon the businessmen to do business thinking about their country and its people as the world is going through a crisis due to the Russia-Ukraine war and the COVID-19 pandemic. During the BNP Jamaat regime, a big portion of the profit had become hollow as a certain percentage of that had to be given to Hawa Bhavan and development wing of the Prime Minister's office. All has now become free from it, she said. The Prime Minister said this while exchanging views with the country's importers and exporters of consumers goods at her official Ganabhavan residence here. Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina is expected to inaugurate and lay the foundation stones of several development schemes at Para Seaport tomorrow to ensure its smooth operations with better facilities. The development works include capital dredging of the port, inauguration of the 8 ships, the first terminal and construction of a 6-lane approach road and a bridge, said a press release here today. The Premier will virtually inaugurate the development schemes involving around Dhaka 11,072 crore from her official residence Ganabhavan, he said. The capital dredging of the seaport's Rabnabad channel will create a 75-kilometer long, 100 to 125 meter wide and 10.5 meter deep channel, building a capacity to dock 40,000 tons of cargo or 3,000 container-laden ships at the port. Chinese ambassador to Bangladesh Li Jiming said his country will continue to work closely with Bangladesh to ensure development, peace and stability in the region. Ambassador Li was speaking at the latest installment of DCAB talk at the National Press Club in Dhaka. The envoy said that China shares the same views as Bangladesh on the Ukraine issue and highlighted the importance of having dialogues and discussions to resolve problems peacefully. On the Rohingya crisis, Ambassador Li said China is making efforts for early repatriation of the Rohingyas to their homeland, Myanmar. The envoy also talked about debt management, global development initiative and trade and investment issues. Coast Guard and Fire Service diving teams have recovered the bodies of 4 of the 8 people who went missing and after a sand extraction dredger capsized in Mirsharai Upazila of Chittagong because of tidal waves caused by Cyclone Sitrang. They found the bodies of Imam Mullah, Muhammad Mullah and Zahid Bari on Wednesday morning. The body of another worker, Alamin, was recovered on Tuesday night. 4 others were still missing. Fire Service official Imam Hussain Patwari said efforts were on to recover the rest of the bodies. There were 9 workers on the dredger, Cycle 2, when it capsized. Salam, the only one who managed to swim to safety, said his 8 co-workers had been trapped inside the dredger. Going to the internationals, US President Joe Biden and Britain's new Prime Minister Rishi Sunak agreed in talks today to work together to support Ukraine and stand up to China, the White House said. They spoke for the first time hours after Sunak became Britain's 3rd Prime Minister this year, inheriting an economic crisis following the resignation of Liz Truss after a mere 49-day tenure. The 2 leaders also reaffirmed the special relationship that exists between the United States and Britain and said they would work together to advance global security and prosperity, the White House said in a readout of the conversation. The White House said Biden and Sunak also agreed to address the challenges posed by China, which Washington has identified as its top geopolitical and economic rival on the world stage today. Now sports. After winning their first ever match at the 2nd round of the ICC T20 World Cup on Monday, Bangladesh are now gearing up for their 2nd match in this year's competition against South Africa. Bangladesh skipper Shakib Al Hasan was confident that his side can snatch a win against South Africa in their upcoming Super 12 fixture in Sydney tomorrow and pointed out a few factors that might play a role in achieving that. Bangladesh went with a batting-heavy team in their opening game against the Netherlands, with part-timers Soumya Sarkar and Musaddiq Hussain entrusted to jointly play the role of the 5th bowler. Shakib said at the press match pre-conference on Wednesday. Shakib pointed out that the Proteas will be under a bit of pressure given that they saw their first game against Zimbabwe washed out, denying them all 2 points from a game that they dominated throughout. This is it for now, and stay tuned with Asian English News Bulletin and visit www.asiantvonline.com. Take care.